Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Online Marketing Tactics for Digital Dominance. Hope you're having a fantastic day, fantastic week. And I'm excited to be able to share some things with you guys today. Let's see. Let's see what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to go over what's working right now. This is coming up on Q4, the end of the year. So what's still working? What things are not working? What do you really need to focus on in the coming months? So things we're going to go across or go through include search engine optimization, or SEO, which most of you are probably very familiar with already, paid advertising, the emergence of chatbots and how you can use those in your business, getting natural business reviews, and then some other more technical stuff that you probably already do, but I want to make sure that it's on your radar just in case it's slipped your mind, and we'll go through those as well. At the end, I want to make an offer to give you some free stuff. If you like free stuff, stick around, and we will get that taken care of then as well. Also, if you do have any questions during the webinar, please go ahead and fill those into the chat area on the on your little toolbar there that you have, and I will try to monitor this as I'm talking and answer any questions as we go through the different slides. So as I said, the different things that are working right now, we're going to go into each one of these in a little bit more detail and show you how you can use these things to your advantage. So first is my favorite, search engine optimization. And this, of course, in an overarching view, this means getting your business to the top of Google, Yahoo, Bing, AOL, all those other ones that are not Google, so that when somebody types in a specific phrase related to what you do or what you sell or a product that you have, you're the first option. You're the first one that comes up there. So that is kind of an overarching view of what SEO means. Particularly in 2020, there are some different things that are taking more precedence. First of all, local ranking. If you have a local area business, a service business, or you go to people's locations locally, you're going to want to know a little bit more about that. Link building, voice search, visual search, and mobile first index. So I'm not going to go into a lot of things about local ranking because I've done a separate webinar on that, on how to optimize your Google business profile, and go into fairly good detail about that. So what I can do is I'll share that link after the webinar, but I did want to make sure that I mentioned that. So let's talk about link building. Link building is basically kind of just what it sounds like, building links around the internet that point back to your website. The more links you have, the more votes you have, the higher you're going to rank. Some tools, some SEO tools that we use, like we use one called Ahrefs. That tool has its own ranking kind of algorithm. And one of the main things they look at are how many links you have pointing back to your site. So it's a big factor in the overall ranking of your website. The more links you have, the more your chances of ranking are. And getting those links is not easy. And quite honestly, it's something that's very often overlooked by business owners because they don't know how. Well, how am I going to go get links on other websites? Well, one way you could do that is by guest blogging. So writing articles that are good content, that solve a problem, answer a question, something like that, and then getting that article published on another relevant website that could point back to yours. So the way that it works typically is you give them content, they get more content, which helps them rank a little higher. But at the same time, in that content is a keyword anchored link that comes back to your site. So Google sees that link, sees that vote for your website, and it's a win-win for both sides. Here's an example of a blog that I wrote for a blog called Business Advice Guide. And they featured this article, top 12 conversion rate optimization tips and getting quality leads for your e-commerce business, right? So this is something I wrote, I submitted to them. And in the middle of the paragraph, well, let's call it the second paragraph, is a link that goes back to my website. And obviously this one's fairly long in, the actual keywords, but just the idea that it's on a business site, it's on a site that talks about other things related to business, and it's linking back to me. It's linking back to Red Canoe Media, means a vote for us, which is fantastic. And it's a relevant vote. It's not just a vote out on some random guy's blog, that blogs on the weekends when he's drunk or something like that, right? This is a business related blog that has relevancy. Very important. And getting these takes some time. Takes some effort. And first of all, just identifying where you can go to get these links is a little tough, but there are ways to do it. I have a Google alert set up for the phrase "right for us." So anytime that somebody puts up a page "right for us," a Google alert shows up, and then I can look, see if it's a business related website, and then I can reach out to them and say, hey, I've got some content I'd like to provide for you. And that works fairly well. It's just something that takes time. It's not something that happens quickly. Secondly, voice search and digital assistants. Most of us are familiar with these now, between Siri on your phone or Google or some of the other home related devices. Voice search is gaining a lot in popularity, and it is infiltrating with SEO. And there are ways that you have to modify your website so that you can rank when somebody says something near me. And I'll show you a couple examples of those. A lot of people are talking to their phones now and not to other people, but they're talking to these platforms and asking questions, doing searches for local places, for businesses, for restaurants, for everything. There are quite a few different platforms that you can do this on, including phone, including tablet, including your desktop. There's a lot of different ways. And then of course there are the home devices I mentioned earlier, which I'm not going to mention one of them because she'll start talking to me if I say it too loud. When it comes to what these people are searching for, 52% are searching for information about deals, sales, promotions, personalized tips or information to make my life easier. Now that second one sounds like, well, that's not related to my business, but this is probably one of the biggest ones. If you can write something that answers a question, they go to your website to get that answer, and maybe you sell that service or product, or at the least you can pixel them and run some retargeting ads to them after the fact. Options to find business information, customer support. There are a lot of ways that people are using these devices to find things. So I encourage you to start thinking about how you can create content that matches what people would search for. So if people are searching for florist near me, then that might be something that you can write a piece of content around. Maybe mention local landmarks, things in different cities around you, municipalities, things of that sort. Emergency pipe repair. If you're a plumber, make sure that you have a page that's specifically about emergency plumbing, emergency repair, something like that. And mention, the different towns again. What color curtains can match my leather couch? That one's maybe a little bit crazy, but if you're able to answer that question locally, it could be that somebody could end up in your showroom or something to learn more about your business. Also, a really cool tool is Answer the Public. It's answerthepublic.com. So you could put a phrase in there that you think people would look up, like a top level phrase, like in this case, artificial intelligence, right? Or plumber or plumbing, or whatever it is that you do. And Answer the Public will give you thousands of related searches that people are typing in to find different information. And it is a fantastic place to learn what people are typing in, what kind of questions I can write about, what kind of questions I can answer, and just a great way to find additional ideas for content. All right, visual search. So this is a new one that's coming on the scene within the last year or so. Pinterest was really the first one to kind of embrace this. And it's really cool because you can take a picture of something, and then Pinterest or Google will do it too, although maybe not as well. I don't know how much they're working on it. There used to be a app called Google Glasses, which was pretty cool. I don't know if that's still around. But anyway, you can take a picture of a product or an item, and these systems will actually show you other products that are similar, as you can see with this green purse. Here are other potential green purses that you might like. So pretty cool thing, especially if you are in an e-commerce situation where you're selling different things. Here's an example on Pinterest. You can actually click on that particular lamp and it will show you particular websites that have lamps that look very similar to this for sale. Pretty cool, pretty freaky, but something very, very cool. Amazon also has something like this. I actually use this a lot in different stores, especially around Christmas. So you can scan, as in this picture, the front of a box or a product, or you can scan a barcode, and Amazon will show you how much they are selling it for. And then you can compare that to the store that you're in at that particular time to see if it's a good deal or if Amazon's got a much better price on that item. But you don't have to just take pictures of barcodes as in the picture. You can actually take pictures of products, and they're pretty good about finding that product or finding that logo and showing similar products to it. Google Goggles, that's why I said Google Glasses earlier. Google Goggles was the app. I don't know if it still exists, but you could take pictures of things like the Golden Gate Bridge and it would actually give you information about those items. I'm sure that there's something similar, if not the same, related for Google. But there are ways, again, to apply this to your business. If people are looking for particular products, or in this case, draperies, or some interior design or something like that, people can use these platforms to learn more about pictures. This also applies to your Google My Business profile. If you're not uploading pictures to that profile on a regular basis, you really should be doing that as well. Next, the mobile first index. So I'm going to say probably a year or so ago now, Google officially moved over to the mobile first index. And what this is basically they split into two separate Googles. So if you search for a keyword on a desktop, you're going to get 10 results on a page, just like normal. If you do that same search on a phone, you'll get 10 results as well, but they might be different results. And the differentiator between the two is that the mobile search, mobile version will only show pages that are mobile friendly. So if your website is not mobile friendly, which we'll talk about in a little bit, then you might be missing out on potentially 60 to 70% of all search traffic that's out there. With as many people that are using mobile and tablet related devices doing those searches, it's super important to have a mobile friendly site. This has been a fight over the years. Desktop was always the winner until just the last maybe 4 or 5 years. Mobile has significantly taken over in the search traffic, and most people are searching on mobile devices now. So if you're not mobile friendly, especially in an e-commerce situation, you're probably, your sales are definitely hurting. Definitely worth doing. I don't need to go through a lot of different things related to this, but it's very important that you have a mobile friendly website and that it's responsive. So responsive means no matter what size the screen is that the person happens to be looking at your website on, the website responds to that size of screen and the orientation of the screen, whether it's straight up or sideways, and it adjusts to that size so that the content always shows in a way that is easy to digest, easy to understand. Very important. By the way, there is a free tool from Google. And instead of writing this down, just go to Google and type in mobile friendly test. And then you can just plug in your website there and it will tell you yes or no, whether you're mobile friendly. and it will also give you pointers of things that you can fix. Even if you are mobile friendly, it may still have some page loading issues, and you can click on those. They tend to be fairly nerdy, JavaScript related stuff, but there are things you can do to fix to make your page load even faster and load on optimally across all devices. All right, next, paid advertising. Pay-per-click is a big part of any business's presence nowadays. Unfortunately, you can't just rely on SEO and you can't just rely on paid advertising. You really need to be relying on both and treating paid advertising more as a supplement to your already high rankings. Here's an example. If I wanted a computer, I would probably go to a computer store, right? The same is true for website traffic. If you want traffic, you need to go to a website traffic store. In most cases, there's two of those that you can choose from. There are others, but these are the two Goliaths, Facebook ads and Google AdWords. Those two are by far the best places to start to get traffic to your website. The number of Facebook monthly users, everybody knows it has just skyrocketed over the years, and it continues to grow. At the same time, the amount of what we call organic reach on these platforms is reducing. It's going down tremendously. Facebook pulled a big old switcheroo on us, 7-8 years ago now. Everybody needs to go build a page. Everybody needs to get their fans, at the time they called it, get a lot of likes. And then Facebook said, you know what, now we're going to actually make you pay to get in front of the people that liked your business. A little bit of a switcheroo, but it's their platform. They can do what they want, right? And it's worked very well. You can target by a lot of different things. Now, some of these you can no longer target because of some privacy related issues, but most of these you can still target. So age, gender, location, what language they speak. There are some other really interesting things like seasonality, mothers, new home buyers, things like that. No matter what you're trying to get in front of, the people are out there and the targeting is out there on these systems. There's some pretty crazy stuff. If you want to target farmers, you can do that. I don't know who would, but you can if you need to. When it comes to Google AdWords, there are a lot of different ways to get in front of people. It's not just those two ads at the top of the Google search. There are a lot of different ways to do it. You can, obviously the search ads are the big one, but you can advertise inside of apps. So if you're ever playing a game or something and you have to sit through some sort of an advertisement, that could be driven by Google AdWords. Video ads, you can retarget people now on YouTube. You can show ads to specific demographics on YouTube, which is fantastic. We're using that more and more, and it seems to be working fairly well. And you can do display ads, which are ads on Google partner websites, other websites that could be relevant to your brand or to your products. A lot of different ways to do that. You can upload what we call custom audiences, and you can do that on both systems. Upload a list of maybe your email list if you want to target people that you already are aware of and already know about your brand name. Or you could create an audience of people that look similar to that, but exclude the people that you've already done business with. There are a lot of really cool ways to do targeting online. Number 3, chat bots. So chat bots are really, really growing in popularity as well. Obviously, the virtual reality, the AI, all of these kind of things are just gaining in popularity. This Facebook business has a send message option. Most people do. And some of these have automatic pop-ups on your screen. Here's an example of one from Hyatt Regency Hotel, where you can actually pop onto their website. It pops up, it knows you're on a mobile device. Here's James. Can I book a room for tonight? Hey, James, we have a room available. This is all automated. There's not a person typing this back to him. So he can go ahead, click that, get the room in the taxi on the way to the hotel, which is pretty cool. ShopSpring is another example. They've actually kind of built out a chat bot, which is pretty cool, where you can say, what are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for men's items. Well, what kind are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for clothing. Okay, what kind of clothing? And you can click through to that and it will suggest related clothing already kind of pre-filtered for you, which is pretty cool. 1-800-Flowers does this as well. You can pull right up on their Facebook page, on their website, and you can order flowers right from your phone, talking to a chatbot. You can even make the payment. It'll ask for the address, everything. Pretty slick. My favorite tool for this is called ManyChat, ManyChat.com. They do have some free stuff that you can put on your website to kind of start this process. Most of, I think we only have 2 clients that actually pay, and I think pay $10 a month for some more premium related chatbots. But for most businesses, ManyChat.com is free, and it'll definitely get you started and getting that conversation going. One warning, if you do have a fairly popular e-commerce related website, putting a chatbot up on your website could overwhelm you. If you have a decent amount of traffic, I've had clients where they've said turn this off only because it was just too much, too many people asking too many questions. They didn't have the staff to answer them, which I guess is a good problem to have, but interesting nonetheless. You can create predefined items in ManyChat. So this is somebody actually talking to Red Canoe, talking to us, and you can see that we've got these kind of predefined things. As soon as he pulls up our chat, he answers yes, sweet, what are you helping with? And then gave him a couple choices. He clicked something else. You just click the button and it says, okay, let me get a human on here to help you. The other thing that's really cool is you can let them know ahead of time that it's a chat bot so they don't think they're talking to a real person. And most people are okay with that now, especially millennials expect it. But as you can see at the bottom here, okay, no problem, let me get a human. And then I actually got an alert on my phone. I jumped on and said, hey, David, how can I help you? So I took over the conversation at that point. Chatbots are pretty awesome. They do take some time to set up, but there are some fantastic things you can do around productivity and saving yourself some overall time. Number 4, natural business reviews. I'm going to grab a drink of coffee. Now, I've got the word natural here in quotes for a reason. The best kind of reviews that you can get are from real clients and nothing that you've manufactured. Getting those are tougher, quite difficult. I just published a blog post saying 68% of customers say that they are willing to leave a positive review for a business. Now, that doesn't mean 68% is actually going to leave the review, but they are inclined to do so. But getting those positive reviews are just so difficult, as many business owners know. On the other side of that, getting the reviews are fantastic and very powerful for your business and can really drive more traffic, more trust to your brand. At the same time, not always easy to get. Here's an example of a search for, I don't know, maybe curtains, St. Louis or something like that. And we see that we've got budget blinds here with 50 reviews with a 4.8 average. Then we've got budget blinds in Creve Coeur, 5.0 stars, but only 2 reviews. And then we've got the Curtain Exchange of St. Louis with no reviews. So using this, especially on a mobile device, when you tend to be in more of a hurry, the obvious choice here is number 1. And most people are going to click on this one because 50 versus 2 versus 0, there's no competition, right? They've got this kind of market cornered. Now, these other companies could do some things to get up there. And even if it had 10, 20 reviews, got up into that second spot, at least they'd be in the conversation. The way these two are right now, they probably are not even part of the decision process, to be honest, unless it's purely locality that somebody's after. Google's also done a fantastic job on getting rid of a lot of fake reviews. There have been over the years a lot of businesses that add different keywords to their business profile. So let's take this example. Let's say the Curtain Exchange of St. Louis, and then they put draperies, blinds, shaders, shutters, something like that along here where it wasn't actually the business name. That kind of stuff, Google's getting really good at weeding out, but also the reviews that are left, they're getting really good at determining which are fake, which your mom did and your cousins did. They're getting really good at learning what kind of words a real customer uses versus a fake customer uses. And they are filtering those out along with fake business profiles or business profiles that are not following the rules correctly. A couple tips for you. Don't incentivize clients to leave a review. This is a big one. You can't say, leave us a review and we'll give you a $20 Applebee's card or a $5 QT card or something like that. Don't ask your family to leave a review. You can send out requests, and I encourage you to do so. Send out requests to people that you've provided service for and ask them, would you mind coming back and leaving us an honest review of what you thought about our business? And lastly, check your name, address, phone across many platforms and make sure that they're always the same. Again, I go into more detail on this in the Optimize Your Google Business Listing webinar, but it's very important that every listing of your business has the same name, same address, and same phone number. The big one here really is address. It needs to be 123 Main Street. If you spell out the word street, always spell out the word street. You can't use STREET sometimes and ST period other times. They always need to be the same across all the different platforms. And there are some tools to do this. We have a free review score that you can go get at reviews.redcanoemedia.com. Just plug in your business name, plug in your zip code, and it will do a little search for you, provide a little PDF return with a score of how you're doing at the current moment, what websites you are claimed on, what websites you're not claimed on, and give you some ideas to go get some more of those different platform business profiles set up. All right, number 5. These are some miscellaneous things I wanted to make sure that we talked about today. HTTPS, very important that your website is secure. And I'm still blown away to this day that there are websites that are not 100% secure and have the little lock icon. The easy way to figure this out is just pull up your website and look in the top left there and see if the lock symbol is on. If it's not, it'll probably say not secure. And that could be the difference between somebody doing business with you and not. And even Google, they want to rank sites that are 100% secure over those that are not. And this is a super cheap thing to fix. Most hosting companies are providing this service for $100 a year. I've had a hosting company for 20 years now through Red Canoe Media. We actually give this to our hosting clients at no cost. They can get what's called an SSL certificate. They can get a 100% secure website as part of the hosting package that most everybody is already paying for with their website. Very important that the SSL certificate is set up correctly and that you get that lock, the lock one and not the unlocked one, right? Here's an example of one not secure. You'll see something like that up at the top, and very important that you get that fixed. So in review, let's talk about a couple things. Local ranking, make sure that you go back and watch the Google My Business or the Google Optimize Your Google profile, business profile. Make sure you watch that webinar because that goes into a lot of detail around local rankings and even more into reviews, things of that sort. Don't forget about link building. Is a big missing piece for a lot of business owners. Link building could also be If you're in a chamber of commerce and they have a business directory, make sure that your profile is fixed on there. It's fully filled out, that your website address is in there. Again, your name, address, phone number is the same. Uh, uh, Other organizations, maybe the JCs or the Kiwanis or any of these other groups that you're in. Also local or national associations that you're in. Make sure if they have a business listing, a business directory, that you have those filled out correctly as well. Voice search, obviously gaining a ton of traction, especially when, like I said, 60 to 70% of searches are now done from mobile devices. Voice search is very important, and having your site optimized for a specific location. If you are in a service area, you need to make sure that you're optimized for those areas, so that when somebody does do a voice search on their phone, you come up as one of the local answers to that question. Visual search, pretty cool, especially for e-commerce platforms, to have those pictures available. And this is pretty new thing that's going on, but I think it's going to gain traction over the coming years. Mobile first index, make sure that you have a mobile friendly website, and you again can go to Google and just type in mobile friendly test and plug your website into that, and it will tell you if you're mobile friendly or not. SEO is just one piece of it. Don't forget about Facebook and Google ads, formerly known as AdWords. Chatbots, we recommend the ManyChat platform, pretty cool. Get those reviews and make sure that your name, address, phone number is the same across all the different platforms. You can go to that reviews.redcanoemedia.com to get that free review score. I would definitely recommend you do that. And then make sure that your website is secure. Very important as well. And at the most, it should cost you $120 a year. So we'll say $10 a month. Some hosting companies like ours provide those free with hosting. But make sure that you have that SSL certificate set up on your site. All right, any questions? If you do have any questions, put those into the chat, and I will make sure that we get those answered for you. In the meantime, if you are interested in talking more with us, book a free strategy call, short 15-minute call or so, and we'll talk about your goals, talk about what you're trying to do, and see if we are a good fit for your business. I do want to recommend that I'll do some free stuff for you. We'll go through and look at your website and get you an analysis of how your website currently looks to Google, and what keywords you're ranking for, what keywords you're not ranking for, a list of all your titles and descriptions and some other SEO related things that could be hurting you or could be helping you. The online reviews, reputation, we'll check out your social media presence and see how that's going, if it is, and if there are other things you can do maybe to improve that. And then lastly, the conversion effectiveness of your website. So this is important because there's a difference between getting a website that looks great but doesn't convert. It's better to have a website that looks good and converts clients into customers. That is the ultimate goal, right? Just having a pretty website that everybody tells you how pretty it is and how great it is, not really the goal. It's nice, maybe feels good, but it doesn't help your pocketbook in any way. So building a website that is built for conversion, very important. So redcanoemedia.com/strategy, schedule that short 15-minute chat, and I'll get these things together for you, and we'll talk about everything and how things are going with you, and of course, what you're hoping to do in Q4 and in 2021 going forward. I don't see any questions. So that is it for me. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you jumping on today. Give me a call if you have any questions, 314-5105-SEO. That's 5736. Or as I mentioned, redcanoemedia.com/strategy to schedule a short call with me. Thank you again. Hope you have a fantastic day, and take care, everybody.